Laman and Lemuel had a consistent fear that Nephi was trying to be their ruler, that he was trying to be their king, that he was trying to take their birthright, essentially. And Nephi consistently denied that and did not seek that at all. But what do we see here? What is the irony of what do we see here? That through their wickedness, they had essentially created this self-fulfilling prophecy where now they literally were willing to worship Nephi, to make him their ruler, right? To look up to him. The interesting part about this is what we see all the time, almost always. And in fact, I might be bold enough to say not almost always this happens. When people in our faith, when people outside of our faith in other forms of Christianity, when they start rationalizing, when they start coming up with excuses for why things can't be the way we're taught they are in Christianity, or why the miracles or the blessings they received weren't really from the Lord, as they rationalize and then start to move away and pull back from the gospel and from truth, they start to go down a completely different path. But does that path free them from religion? Does it free them from ideology the way that they think it does? No. They actually just replace a religion and a faith of agency and liberty and faith and trust in the Lord, and they replace that with the parallel gospel that the world offers. At that point, anti-God thinking becomes their religion. Atheism becomes their religion. The teachings of men become their religion. And this is what we see with Laman and Lemuel. They never took the time and didn't have the desire and didn't put in the effort to understand the gospel and the doctrine of truth that comes through the Lord. And if you don't do that, you're going to replace that religion, that structure that is ingrained within you eternally. You're going to replace it with something else. There will be some other form of temporal, wicked, perverse way of thinking that you will fill the gap within you that is necessary. You're going to create some alternative religion. Everybody worships something. Yep. Everybody lives their life in accordance with some dogma. If you don't want it to be Christianity, fine. Or if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and you're thinking about leaving the church because of the rules, because it's oppressive, because you look at the gospel like it's a checklist, I got bad news for you. You can leave, but you are going to find something else to fill your life with a false religion, because we all are in need of a religion, and we all fill that gap and that hole with something. And we need to be cautious and aware, because it is false teaching. It is the doctrine of men that you can walk away from religion and be free, because you'll replace it with something else.
Well, the interesting thing is that the philosophy of men mingled with Scripture, it still has some Scripture in there, meaning there's still truths sprinkled throughout all the ways of the world, which means that there are bits of fulfillment that you can get even when you're in walking in incorrect and false paths.
Yeah.
And that's what's so deceiving about it.
We talked about that with the great and spacious building.
That's right.
Is that you do get some of that comfort.
And everyone worships something. Mm-hmm. So in the lectures on faith, right, Joseph Smith talks about, what is faith? Faith is a principle of power. Faith, when you have faith in something, it's a principle of action. I'm sorry, I misquoted. Faith is a principle of action. So if you have faith in something, that faith motivates you to act consistent with that faith, to act in the direction of what you think faith in that thing will bring you. Mm-hmm. So if you have faith in money and the ability that money has to buy you happiness, if that's where your faith is, if that's your God, if that's what you worship, that faith will move you forward in that direction, right? And maybe that faith will lead you to education, to a career. Maybe it does lead you to money. And maybe there is a degree of comfort, satisfaction, fulfillment that comes from that path. But that is not the fullness of the blessings of eternity.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot, like that is so limited and so shallow in what it's able to provide you. And it's, I mean, the world, that's where the world is. And that's why there's so much suffering and anxiety and depression. And there's just so many pains in the world because the gods that they worship, the things that they worship, the faith, the things in which they put their faith, it is leading them in a direction. But when they get the fruits of that faith, it does not have the fulfillment that they need.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.